Looking at something over by third base, or on the third base line, so we have a bit of a delay to start this game. Aubrey Leach awaiting her opportunity to lead this game off for Carolina. Leach, one of three in this starting order for Carolina who hail from the state of Texas.
Yeah, a lot of Texas blood as the umpires have figured this out, but Leach, Atwood, and Klingler, this Blaze offensive lineup has some speed, it has some pop, relies on a couple of rookies there with Atwood and Kennedy, who hit back-to-back 2 and 3 in the order.
I believe the umpires are satisfied with what they saw. And so after a slight delay, we are ready to go. Aubrey Leach facing Nigeri Kennedy to lead off this game. Fantastic crowd here at Dell Diamond tonight. The first of 3 games between these two teams in much different situations in the standings, as we showed you. This one's so important for Carolina.
Yeah, so Nigeri Kennedy going to be known for her rise ball, whether she was at Stanford or at Texas Tech or here in the AUSL. It is still her most used pitch. Going to throw in a curveball and a changeup as well. That screwball at only 4%, which is a big difference. So when you saw her as a senior at Texas Tech, that's a pitch that she's essentially eliminated as a pro, leaning more on her rise ball, curveball, and changeup power line. So maybe take that screwball away and throw a little bit more rise ball instead on that outside part of the plate to lefties.
She was the #2 pick in the AUSL college draft for Texas. The #1 pick is in the other dugout right now, Carlin Pickens. We will see her tomorrow. She'll get the ball. Alicia Ocasio, the Game 1 starter for Carolina tonight.
And one thing that you've heard about Nigeri Kennedy in this rookie season, working with Josh Trevino, the Volts pitching coach, is working on her mechanics, trying to get them back to maybe they were as a freshman or a sophomore when she was at Stanford. And so I think that when you're watching Nigeri Kennedy pitch this rookie season, you're watching her just work through some mechanical fixes, which is not easy, even if you're a veteran, nevertheless a rookie going against some of the best hitters in the world.
Still a busy summer ahead for a lot of these players. Nyjah and Aubrey Leach, 2 of them who will be playing for Team USA in some capacity. So a lot of these players who are teammates now and who are facing each other now will eventually wear the USA across their chest as teammates. Aubrey Leach putting together a great battle to lead off this game against Kennedy, and is going to see at least 9 pitches.
Seeing a lot from her and Kennedy trying to settle into this game. We have a great crowd. This is a tough Blaze lineup that has a veteran at the top with Leach.
And Aubrey Leach will walk. The average a little down for Aubrey this year, but still finding ways to get on base. Her 7th walk of the season. And here comes Reese Atwood. You could hear the fans when they saw 15 walk into the plate.
Such a warm welcome for Yvette, a visitor coming into this Volts home stadium. And Good had run to the third base dugout to, I don't know, do something with one of the coaches. So took a little bit longer.
Trying to throw off her former teammates' rhythm here. Leanne Good, another one of the Texas Longhorns, 2-time national champion.
Well, and these two obviously have had a lot of history playing against each other. Atwood in her Texas career alone, 21 at-bats off of Nigeri Kennedy, Texas and Texas Tech.
Reese Atwood was the 2nd batter to face Nigeri Kennedy in her career. The first was Kennedy's former assistant coach at Texas Tech and Reese's teammate, Kayla Kowalik. Kowalik hit a double. Reese Atwood hit a home run.
Well, and she's hit 2 home runs off of Nigeri Kennedy this year. As a pro, when they faced each other, she's 3 for 4 against Kennedy with 2 home runs and a double.
Reese takes ball 2. It's a 2-2 count.
Well, that's a pitch that I think that Nigeri Kennedy should throw a lot more, because that's her changeup, and hitters in the AUSL only hitting 133 off of her changeup with no extra base hits.
Atwood off the end of the bat. It's going to be a double play. Sierra Romero coming up big defensively to double up Leach.
And that's the exact combination that I would stick to. If I'm calling pitches with Nyjah Kennedy, I would throw my curveball and change up a ton. This is a curveball off the end of the bat that goes right to Romero, and then she's able to easily tag Leach there for a quick double play. Exactly what Kennedy needed in this first.
Another rookie to face Kennedy. It's Dakota Kennedy, the rookie out of Arkansas. A great start for Nyjah Kennedy. Gave up multiple earned runs in each of her first 5 outings, but I mentioned coming off her best start as a pro, that 5 1/3 with just 1 earned run.
I think that you're seeing her gradually get more and more comfortable in this league. And when you think about Nyjah Kennedy and the expectations and pressure that she has felt really her entire career when she was at Stanford, and then of course when she transferred to Texas Tech, she is one of the most well-known athletes in our sport, in the world, really. She's earned that with how dominant she was at Stanford and then taking Texas Tech to the finals the 2 years that she was there.
Swing and a miss by Kennedy, and Nyjah.
So a pitcher who can defend and also offensively contribute to this Blaze offense. Alicia Ocasio, we saw her do that at Florida, and we've seen her do it as a pro, but definitely doing it more this year.
Against Oklahoma City. The other 5 appearances, she has a 1.68 ERA in 16 2/3 innings pitched, and retires Riley Boone almost immediately.
Ok, xin chào tất.
So Boone goes down. And now Jayla Lassiter, first pitch swinging for her, and 2 outs for Ocasio. This is what you call efficiency from Alicia Ocasio to start this game.
Definitely some quick outs. That's something that she's doing better this year, is attacking the strike zone more. Only 1 walk in almost the 20 innings that she's pitched this year.
Tiare Jennings takes the first 2 pitches, so Ocasio has more than doubled her pitch count to Tiare, throwing 3 pitches to her. And takes strike 1 in a 3-0 count.
That's the thing about Alicia Ocasio. She has really good movement. I think it's something that she's learned to command better this year. We talked about just 1 walk this season. So there's her second one to Tiare Jennings, but she's been so good with her command. And Tiare Jennings, after a couple of quick outs, more of a veteran approach, making Ocasio come to the zone.
And there was no way Tiare Jennings was going to come up and swing first pitch against Alicia Ocasio after seeing the first 2 go down on just 1. There is strike 1 to Danica Coffey, who is in the DP spot in tonight's game. Second-year pro. She's a Texas native from Richwood, Texas. Played her college ball at LSU. You actually got to watch her get her golden ticket last year in a series against Florida in Baton Rouge. Jenny Finch giving Danica Coffey her golden ticket. And that gets away, so as you notice, there is no short backstop. We're on a minor league baseball field, so there is a line painted in the turf behind home plate. If it goes beyond that line, you get the next base. If you were to be stealing on the play and it goes beyond the line, you would also get, in this case, third base too. One-two pitch back to Ocasio. Ground to make up. Texas eliminated officially from postseason contention, but for the Blaze, they need to win this series to set up what will be maybe the most important 2 games of their season against Chicago in Durham in just a few days.
Yeah, the time is now for the Blaze, and every game from here on out is like critically important. They just came off of a couple of games playing in Portland where close games did not go their way. So this series here, a 3-game series against the Volts, is a way for them to get some wins and try to edge out some close ones.
Important to note, the 2 teams above them, Chicago and Portland, both with 11-7 records. They play each other this weekend in Portland. That first game coming up later as Nigel Kennedy gets Klingler to ground out on the first pitch. A lot of first pitch swings in this game so far.
I feel like that's a trend that we've seen in the league in general, is just hitters being aggressive with this slightly bigger strike zone that we have in pro softball, and facing such good pitchers. You don't want to get 2 strikes and get down against them, especially with the strike zone.
Nyjah has faced the minimum. The first 4 batters she faced, walked the leadoff in the game, but got a double play shortly after that of Reese Atwood. Now facing Devin Netz. Netz takes the first 2, 2-0.
Trying to go to that curveball a little bit more against these right-handed hitters, and talked about this in the first inning, but if I'm Nyjah Kennedy and calling pitches, I would really lean on her curveball with the consistency and the way that it's moving, and her changeup. I think that that could be a great combo. Use your rise ball hard into these righties like every now and then, but her curveball has some really nice break away from these right-handed hitters. She's locating it really well, right at the knees, just off the plate, and then being able to use her changeup, a pitch that essentially, as a pro, has been unhittable for these hitters.
Ground ball, Jennings cannot track it down, and Devin Netz has the first hit of the night for either team. Well, Saturday on ABC, the New York Liberty head to Minnesota to take on the Lynx. WNBA Countdown kicks things off at 12:30 Eastern, followed by the matchup at 1. You can also catch that on the ESPN app.
There's that changeup. That pitch, 55 miles an hour. She's still a Nyjah Kennedy that we'll see touch 69, 70 miles an hour, and then use that changeup to drop it down to 55.
1-1 count to Alyssa Brito, who is at third base tonight. Anna Gold gets a night off defensively. She is in the DP spot. Jenna Laird slides over to shortstop, and Aubrey Leach is into second base. We've seen Aubrey in the outfield, in the infield. Some of these questions that we had about how this team would be put together or how they would be utilized, just they have a lot of options, a lot of versatility the way Dana Sorensen drafted this team. Nyjah misses low, 2-2.
So many options and a lot of versatility with players who played the infield or specifically played shortstop, but can play any position in the field. It's something that you noticed with the way that she drafted. I like that pitch. That actually will go down as a check swing and a strikeout for Nyjah Kennedy, her second of the game. The first one was on the change. Then she gets Brito trying to dodge this rise ball up and in, and gets the call from the first base umpire that she went around.
Second strikeout for Nyjah Kennedy tonight. Trying to put up a second 0 to start this game. This is Jenna Laird, the shortstop. What's Nyjah got to figure out at the pro level? We saw the potential with her last start, how great she was in that. But what have you seen from her that you say she can kind of get this going, she'll be just fine?
Her curveball and her changeup. I know that I've been talking about it a lot, but really diving into her numbers and having them for the first time this year, it's what I saw.
It's the ground out, and it's 2 clean innings. Nervous, and was that your first time throwing out a first pitch?
I was a little bit nervous, honestly. A little nervous, wasn't warmed up, obviously, just went right into it. But obviously great throwing it to Reese, a familiar face, and actually threw the first pitch out on opening day for here at the Express, the home baseball team here. So my second of the year, I guess.
I love it. I love it. Jackie Liss leads things off here for Texas in the second inning.
Well, speaking of the Express, Tegan, what have you been up to this summer? Working girl.
Yes, I'm interning here with the Express, working with all departments in the front office, and so it's been super cool to. They have an investment here in AUSL and as long as with the MLB too, and so it's super cool to be with a group that supports softball and just has a lot of love for what they do, and so it's been super awesome to learn from them.
Great play at shortstop by Jenna Lair. That'll bring up Jaden Goodwin. Tegan, tell us a little bit about your relationship with Reese Atwood. Obviously, it's funny watching you throw out the first pitch to somebody from the opposing team, but I don't know if anyone's gotten more cheers tonight than you and Reese Atwood when you come out on the field. What's that relationship like?
Oh yeah, I mean, she's my best friend, and so it means the world. It's awesome to have her home, and that she gets to play in front of these fans because she deserves it. She deserves all the applause. She just works really hard and is a great person, and everyone that is around her is so lucky to be around her.
And you guys will play again later this summer together with Team USA. What is your routine? Because you just said you're interning for the Round Rock Express here, obviously trying to stay ready for Team USA too. So what's a week look like for you as far as the softball side of things?
Yeah, so I'm lifting 3 times a week to keep my body just moving, also pitching probably, ramping back up to it, throwing probably 4 to 5 times a week, but kind of slowly worked my way back into it. Took a little break after the World Series, and so yeah, just doing whatever I can to stay ready and just stay moving, honestly. Obviously pitching in softball, there's a lot of muscle memory with practice and reps and stuff, but just stay moving. Don't get too rusty in the off season.
Michaela Edenfield at the plate takes that pitch for strike 1.
Tegan, you've probably been asked this like a lot, but what was the difference winning the first national championship with Texas versus going back-to-back this year and winning that second one in a row?
Yeah, I mean, it's different. Obviously, the first was special in and of itself to do that for the program, being the very first that has ever been to Texas for softball, and so that was super special. But the second was different. I think it was an open field for anyone, obviously, and so it was just really cool to really take it and to do it with this group of girls. We faced so much adversity, and obviously it was our goal, but we just took it one day at a time. It didn't focus on those back-to-back too much. Obviously it means the world that we did it, but just so many ups and downs that come with the season, and I'm sure any championship run can say that. And so it was different for sure, but just even more special.
Obviously a lot of softball to be played for you, and still at Texas, and then with Team USA, probably one day in this pro league. What, from your perspective as a college athlete, it just seems like there's so much more awareness around the AUSL, but how have you viewed the league in the last couple of years?
Oh, I mean, it's been so cool. I mean, I think anyone can tell that the AUSL is where it's at. They do things the right way. They bring so many fans out and are playing in such good venues and playing in cities that really support women's sports. And I can't wait to see where it grows, and I can't wait to hopefully play on one of these teams one day. And just with the level of talent and the girls that have bought into this from the very beginning and have seen the days when pro softball wasn't so great, and to be here, I just props to all of them, all of the veterans that have been out here grinding away for this moment, and for all the girls that are looking up to it.
Tegan, do you think that you'll practice it? I'm curious, like, will you throw to her at all anymore? Like, how will this work?
I hope so. She's still going to be in Austin, so I'm definitely going to be like, you better come catch me here and there. But I'm sure she'll still want to stay active too, and so I want nothing more to get some work in with her.
Reese, I'm saying, goodness gracious. You two of a kind. Tegan, thanks so much. Thanks for doing this, and we're so excited you're here. Enjoy the night, and good luck the rest of the summer.
Thank you so much. Thanks for chatting with me.
Tegan Cavan, 2-time national champion, also 2-time most outstanding player in the Women's College World Series. What is it? You've watched her on that stage, and she just goes to another level. What is it?
Her mindset and this ice in her veins to be able to perform on the biggest stage. I mean, seeing her numbers at the Women's College World Series this year and last year are just unbelievable. Even when she had an ERA over 2 entering the Women's College World Series, like, her ability to elevate her game in the biggest game says so much about her work on her mindset, and she's been open about that as a player and the work that she's put in to hone in on that positive mindset and be her best in the biggest moments.
She was here earlier walking around with her parents, and she's interning with the team here at Dell Diamond as well, but there was a long line when everyone realized the gates open. I think somebody had seen her walk by the front gate at some point, and as soon as those doors opened, there was a line of little girls sprinting down the right field line to find Tegan Cavan.
Well, and we definitely talked about this before the game, but she's taller than you think she's going to be. So I think that when you look at somebody like Carlin Pickens, like, she looks tall, but...
The top 4 active, most winningest coaches in college softball right now.
Well, in the top 3, we've literally seen in the last 3 days being involved within AUSL. Karen Weekly in Portland in that interview at the Cascade game. Joe Evans as the associate head coach of the Oklahoma City Spark. And then Patty Gasso, the GOAT, in the broadcast booth with you last night in Oklahoma City. How did that go with Patty?
She is just a star. $1 million. Patty will be back in a couple days for game 3 of the Oklahoma City-Utah series. And then Lonnie Alameda, the Florida State head coach, will be in the booth tomorrow night with Eric Collins. So I'm looking forward to that. And it's funny, one of the things you mentioned, you're like, I can't wait to hear Lonnie talk about pitching.
Yeah, I'm so excited for that. Like, just hearing you tease what's happening tomorrow night. I'm excited to see Lonnie Alameda call her first game and then have Patty in that series on Sunday, I guess it is.
Sunday night.
Yeah.
Well, and of course, Patty's got a ton of players, ton of connections with Oklahoma and with Team USA. And the same goes for Lonnie Alameda, having coached at the international level, and also has Sydney Sherrill and Jessie Warren on the same field yet again, as we see this foul ball gets the home plate umpire, Robbie Guest. He is ready to go. Anna Gold is leading off this inning. 8-9-1 due up in the 3rd for Carolina.
I'm really liking the pitch calling for Nyjah Kennedy this first time through. That foul ball into Robbie Guest's mask was a rise ball that I feel like she's not. You think of Nyjah Kennedy's rise ball, that was her strikeout pitch, her go-to pitch. But I think here in this game, and at least in this league this year, it could be used as a pitch to raise the hitter's eyes for something else, because her other pitch, her curve and her change have been more effective. So I really like the way that they're using her rise ball, especially against the right-handed hitters in this Blaze lineup early.
Ahead 1-2 of Gold, and runs it outside for ball 2.
And that curveball has 10 inches of horizontal break to it. 10 inches away from Anna Gold. She kind of yanked that one, but still had that break to it.
Gold kind of off the end of the bat, it seemed like, but got plenty of it to put it out into right field for a base hit.
Good piece of hitting by Anna Gold. Somebody who's trying to get hot. This is a good sign for Blaze if she takes this curveball low and away the opposite way, just like she did. Hitting in the 8 hole. She had such a breakout year last year as a rookie. Not quite the same offensive numbers this year. Just trying to figure it out, and will continue to do so.
The bunt just rolls foul from Ocasio. She's got plenty of speed to beat that out. So yes, it's kind of a sacrifice situation, but Ocasio certainly running down the line with a mission. Trying to help herself out. These are her numbers offensively and in the circle. She's had some clutch hits this year. There's also that batting average can be a little deceptive, because we've seen her put some really good swings on balls right at people. Falls behind 0-2 here.
On her on-base percentage, 370. So finding different ways to get on base, to turn over this order. She's been more so hitting 8 and 9 in the lineup. You've seen her at the very bottom to turn things over and find a way to get on base for the top.
Alicia, longtime member of the Puerto Rican national team since 2013. She will actually head to Peru in just a couple days. Not the only one of the AUSL that will do that. Georgina Korick, last year's AUSL Pitcher of the Year, who threw Game 1 last night against Oklahoma City. She will head there as well with Great Britain. And then the expectation is for Georgina, if they continue in the fashion they're going to make the playoffs, she'll be back for the playoffs You would imagine the same is true for Alicia Ocasio as well, who sends this through the right side. It is back-to-back base hits. The throw to third in plenty of time. Riley Boone comes up throwing and cuts down on a gold.
We were talking about Patty Gasso, and Riley Boone played for Patty Gasso at Oklahoma, and Patty Gasso is a master at coaching defense, and she loves the way that her outfielders can step up and show off their arms, always thinking about the next play, attacking balls on the ground, good communication from the Volts defense to be able to let Riley Boone know, hey, we have a chance at 3, and a nice tag to finish it off.
It's a tough call to make, too, there with nobody out. You got the top of your order coming up, and runs are just so valuable in this game. The Volts offense has really struggled this year to produce runs. So you think 1-2 runs with Ocasio and a really talented bullpen could be enough. We'll see if that out comes back to haunt him. Ocasio did a nice job to get into second base, so still someone in scoring position for Aubrey Leach.
When we talked about Nyjah Kennedy using her screwball less, and this is what it looked like this past year at Texas Tech against a left-handed hitter where she used her screwball. You can see her body moving toward that outside corner, stepping far left and releasing more toward the third base side. And a few of these rise balls are kind of looking like it. Like that one right there, I have the pitch comm in front of me. That's actually called a rise ball, but she's stepping out a little bit, kind of finishing like a screwball. Her senior year against left-handed hitters at Texas Tech, she used her screwball 33% of the time.
Leach in the left, and that almost got Goodwin, but she recovers and makes the catch, and there's 2 outs.
But by using it less, it says 5% against left-handed hitters so far as a rookie, but she really hasn't even thrown it since like the second week of season. So any percentage that's left of her screwball and her pitch usage is really just from using it her first week as a rookie pitcher with this Volts team. She has essentially eliminated that screwball, a pitch that she leaned on a lot, especially against lefties.
What would you have hoped for if you were coming into your rookie year? You're Nyjah Kennedy, you've had this unbelievable career. When Josh Trevino first approached you, what would you have hoped the conversation would have been like? And right on cue, Josh Trevino coming out of the dugout.
It's a good question. To me, she didn't look her most comfortable in her senior year at Texas Tech. They still competed in the finals and were national runners-up, and she still had a very good year, but not the same type of movement specifically on her rise ball that we saw her freshman, her sophomore year at Stanford. And her rise ball is actually a pitch that has gotten hit the hardest here in this league. It has the highest slugging percentage against it and the highest batting average against it. So I think a lot of these hitters have just been ready for that pitch. And I also, at the same time, don't think the movement and sharpness of that pitch has been the same as we saw earlier in her career.
So the numbers this year at Texas Tech, still a sub-2 ERA, 29 wins. One-0 pitch, Reese Atwood fouls it back. Texas versus Texas Tech. How many times have we seen this matchup over the last couple of years, and typically on the biggest stage in college softball?
Oh, just like 30 plate appearances against each other, which makes this matchup even more fun. They just know each other so well. So many awesome games that came between Texas Tech and Texas, and Reese Atwood going up against Nyjah Kennedy, just so epic.
This is a much better start for Texas against Carolina in this one. They lost the first 2 games of the year in Durham. It was the best 2-game offensive stretch of the year for the Blaze. They scored 15 runs in those 2 games on 19 hits and hit 5 home runs. One of them a dominant 6-inning run rule victory. The other a come-from-behind win that they ended up winning in extra innings.
You could tell that Nyjah was being really careful with Reese in that at-bat. Pitching her more off the plate. First base is open. Ocasio at second base. Like, don't let Reese Atwood, who's seen me so many times, who leads the Blaze with hits, RBIs, and home runs, don't let her beat you. So pitched around her, basically put her at first, and now, look, attacking Dakota Kennedy.
Dakota Kennedy got off to a great start. She had 7 hits in her first 5 games this year. She's got pop, but she struck out 11 times in her last 20 at-bats. Just stays alive, tipping that pitch back. Pickens, Atwood, Kennedy, the 3 draft picks for Carolina General Manager Dana Sorensen, and man, did she get them right.
All coming from the SEC. Dakota Kennedy had played so long at Arizona, but for her last year, transferring to Arkansas and being a big part of that team. And made it to the World Series for the first time.
On a fight in a 1-2 count against Nyjah. Another just tipped.
Yeah, so these pitches outside to Kennedy, even though her body is kind of looking like a screwball, on the pitch comm, it is saying rise out. So trying to kind of manipulate her body a little bit to get that rise ball in the outer half to these left-handed hitters.
Can she get Kennedy to end the top of the 3rd? Yes, she can. Nyjah takes something
there, and Reese Wood tall like Aubrey Monroe, and definitely the same conversation.
Reese and Devin Netz coming together. Boone is going to take second base. And Atwood and Netz kind of high-fiving there. Unfortunately, it wasn't worse than it was.
Well, and speaking of tall, this is why Reese Atwood is able to grab this. Devin Netz is tall, but Reese Atwood is longer with those arms. And Riley Boone, again, making things happen. That slight hesitation and bobble there, using her speed to get herself to second base. What base running by Riley Boone, who has been electric offensively for this Volts team. We saw her with the outfield assist in right field. She brings so much, this Texas team.
The first run of the game stands at second potentially, and it is one of her college teammates at Oklahoma who put together really one of the most impressive careers in the history of the sport for Patty Gasso at OU. Tiare Jennings hit .412 on her career with 98 home runs and 314 RBIs.
You see how careful Alicia Ocasio has been with Tiare in this game. In both at bats, she's fallen behind 3-0. Actually walked Tiare in her first AB. It's a curveball there for a strike. But when you're watching Ocasio pitch, we talk a lot about her changing speeds. But one thing that maybe you can see with her movement, she has 10 inches of vertical break up and down. And then she can change speeds like that to 56. So her movement and the way that she manipulates her spin creates that vertical separation with her rise and drop that is almost the best in the biz.
This hit to Laird, who fires it over to Netz at first, and there's 2 away. Sunday on ESPN, the NWSL season rolls on. The Seattle Reign take on the Portland Thorns at 4 Eastern. You can catch the game live on ESPN or stream it on the ESPN app. We actually saw the Cascade and Thorns together last night at the Portland Fire WNBA game.
I saw that too. They were together. That was awesome to see on a night off for the Cascade to go and support them.
What a fantastic city for women's professional sports. We talked about that a lot with Portland, but the crowds have been outstanding. Those fans have kind of been hungry for home games. We got to see the home opening series there. It was unbelievable at Hillsborough Ballpark. And then in their 2 wins over the Blaze, 2 more excellent crowds, and it propelled them to arguably their biggest 2 wins of the year.
And it's all going to come down to these last few games. I mean, there is just so much at stake with any game that you're to be watching this week and next week, as all these teams are fighting for a spot to get to College Station, to finish in the top 3 of the standings and have a chance to win a championship like the Talons did last year.
3-2 count to Danica Coffey with Boone still on second base and 2 away. The winner of the Bandits Cascade Series, win 2 or 3 in that series, you are going to be knocking on the door of clinching a spot in the... And how about this from Emma Lemley? Now, it didn't work out for her team, but she nailed it. There was a runner thrown out at third.
Riley Boone with the one hopper to Jackie Liss to be able to get the out. You're right, didn't really fare for her team, but Carlin Pickens said something about a pickoff, and Reese Atwood is on their team, and Reese Atwood we have seen pick people off, so don't lose that one out of your memory. That could still happen in this game.
Now, if Michaela Edenfield picks somebody off, they're not going to play that game anymore.
Yeah, those two in the dugout, by the way, Emma Lemley and Carlin Pickens have been so fun with the camera down there that Emma Lemley will carry around. They're just having an absolute blast with it. And I love seeing the personalities of Emma Lemley and Carlin Pickens. And this is them live in the dugout right now. This is not a replay. Currently on themselves, having fun. A couple of pictures for this Blaze team. And Mackenzie Clark, of course, she's going to get on the action as well.
The best part is, I don't think there's a red light on that camera, so they just never know. We could have them up at any point, so.
It's like an all-game or FaceTime. Like,
yeah.
It just probably feels to them like they're on FaceTime for the entire game with a friend.
This is popped up in the shallow right. Leanne Good makes the catch to retire Klingler. I like coming up with ideas that I don't have to put any effort into actually making them happen, but
yeah.
How great would it be if the fans could get on that sort of like FaceTime and watch that camera?
Okay.
Be in the dugout.
That's a great idea.
Thank you.
And AUSL has a lot of great ideas and run with a lot, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that in action soon.
And a lot of very hardworking people that can make that happen that aren't standing in this booth right now.
You're going to put that on your plate, trying to figure out the technology to make that happen, but the fans would be happy.
A 1 count to Devin Netz. And another one toward Leanne Good, who runs in and makes the catch. The former Longhorn helping out the Red Raider, Nyjah Kennedy, in the circle.
How about this outing that Nyjah Kennedy is putting together? A much-needed, just, you know, outing where she's getting outs and looking really confident and hitting her spots and attacking these hitters a little bit differently. I mean, we are watching her continue to grow and develop and get better as she goes on. The best is yet to come for her. It's even what the Volts coaching staff has said.
Only 3 hits. They've all been singles. And it just feels like nothing's really been hit hard. They haven't been hitting the ball hard at people. It's been a lot of soft contact for Nyjah. I also think this just shows a lot about her character, to be honest, because this has not been a fun season if you've been a Texas fan. They're 3-15 right now. They've lost 8 straight games. So this is a pride check a little bit for them this weekend. And Nyjah Kennedy's coming out. Appearances this year, has a 2.72 ERA in 18 innings pitched.
Well, they really like her in this relief role as a bridge pitcher. So Alicia Ocasio getting the start, Ricketts being that bridge, and you start to think in a close game that maybe Carlin Pickens might come in as Ricketts gets her first strikeout of the game against the first batter that she faces, and Carlin Pickens is warming up right now. They like her in that closer role. Of course, she can start for this Blaze team too, but in this close game, you have to imagine that if it stays close, we might see Carlin Pickens in the 6th or 7th.
First pitch swinging back to Ricketts, and there are 2 very quick outs. Jackie Liss goes down and Jaden Goodwin goes down to bring up Michaela Edenfield with nobody on and 2 away here in the bottom of the 4th. Still a scoreless game. We knew things were getting serious with Carlin Pickens when we looked down and she was no longer next to Emma Lemley. She quickly got her glove and she is out in the bullpen.
On the Lemley cam down there in the first base dugout.
Ricketts delivers strike 1 to Michaela Edenfield.
We've talked about this a lot this year, but these innings in this game have just moved so quickly. And you see a couple of quick outs by Ricketts, the strikeout, and the ball put in play right back at her from Goodwin. But hitters swing early in the count in this league. And as a pitcher, they've definitely adjusted to that. These hitters are more aggressive, not wanting to get 2 strikes with the wider zone. And against some of the best pitchers in the world, so they just try to avoid getting 2 strikes. So they go up looking to hit early in the count. And because of that, a lot of balls put in play from the first, second, third pitches of the ABs.
Right side to Devin Netz and a very quality. And we'll wrap up our series on Monday night, 7 Eastern, not just on ESPN2, but also on ESPN Deportes.
Love it. The Bandits Cascade, a monster series. The Bandits have been absolutely on fire. They have won 7 in a row. Their offense seems like they put up 10 runs every game. The Bandits offense has just been tough to put down. So with the way that the Cascade have been pitching the last 3 games, I cannot wait to watch game 1 of that series tonight after our game.
7 in a row for the Bandits. That is 1 shy of matching the AUSL record for consecutive wins set by Utah last year with 8. Nyjah Kennedy delivers strike 1. She's just been in such command. It's mixed locations, and it's a big reason why we've seen all of these soft contact swings. 3 pop-ups last inning in that 1-2-3 fourth. There is strike 2 from Nyjah, trying to quickly sit down Jenna Laird leading off this inning.
Well, and the crowd here has been tremendous for this Volts home game. I think that Texas loves to support their pro teams in women's sports, like we talked about with the Portland team as well. But this crowd is awesome. Texas really has a good thing going here at Dell Diamond, and their general manager, Kat Osterman. Probably the greatest to ever play and wear a Texas uniform for their softball program.
Out into left field, base hit for Laird to lead off the 5th inning. So 1 on for Anna Gold. Anna Camden has more on her.
Those were the principles Anna Gold was raised on. Her dad built a hitting lab in their family basement for her and her brother Luke, who played baseball at Boston College and was also drafted into the MLB. And Anna has spent many hours in that basement perfecting her craft, and she still does in the offseason. She said that the Gold perspective was always, you don't need anything special or fancy to get better, just dedication and discipline.
And that was a sacrifice bunt to perfection for Anna Gold. And you see the basement hitting lab for them, kind of use some different analytics tools and things like that, but it's a great story in a super athletic family.
Well, I would imagine growing up in the state of New York, this hitting lab really came in handy during the winter months with all the snow that they had, or have, I should say.
You're saying you didn't have that problem in Houston when you were growing up?
We did not have this problem being a Texas softball player at all.
Ocasio looking for another clutch swing. Checks that pitch. It's a 1-1 count. This is not a surprise. We talked about the Texas struggles, but the fact that they are playing like they are right now is no surprise. They've been in a lot of games this year. They've lost a lot of close games. 6 losses this season, Amanda, by 2 runs or less. But how about this? In the last 2 years as a franchise, 15 losses by 1 or 2 runs. That is almost half of their losses in those 2 years. I mean, think about if you just swing 6, 7 of those games, which is still not a small number when you look at the totals. It's a totally different outlook to this season and last year.
Yeah, that is tough as a player to go through those close losses too and know that you're just right there. And that last season and this season could have been a little bit different than what it ended as last year and what it currently is this year. Is Nyjah Kennedy is off to a good pitching start against this Blaze offense. That the last 10 games has been a struggle to get going and score runs. So
back to Nyjah, and tried to turn too quickly, but that's a big second out.
Off the end of the bat, Nyjah Kennedy does a good job of just knowing exactly what she wants to do. Oftentimes as a pitcher, one that looks like it might be coming harder at you, it's a bit intimidating because you release the ball so close to the plate. So even a hit off the end of the bat, you can get a little bit fearful of it coming faster. She handled that well.
First pitch.
She's the type of person that's like good at everything that she does. So I'm sure she would be great at calling games. But how about in that conversation going from women not being allowed to play sports to then having a 10-year dream to coach softball and call professional softball? How cool is that? In the same conversation, thinking about how far we've come, how far our sport has come, how far women's sports in general has come. Pretty amazing.
I only have one problem with that statement for Carlin.
Yes.
10 years? She needs to still be playing in this league in 10 years.
Good point, yes.
Say 20.
Especially watching Keilani Ricketts pitch and think about how long she's been doing it for 14 years. Could be an inspiration to Carlin Pickens to keep doing it for 15 years as well. And if she's doing it for 15 years, how hard is she throwing? Is she going to hit that 80-mile-per-hour mark? The fastest pitch that she's thrown is 79.4, so she's close. But you know she's just going to get stronger, just going to get wiser, going to work on her mechanics, have some rest somewhere mixed in there. How hard is she going to be throwing?
1-2 from Ricketts to Romero, two longtime pros. Romero flares it out to right, and she's retired. Reached earlier on a walk in this game. One of the toughest jobs in this league is bullpen catcher for any of these pitchers, but for Carlin Pickens ramping it up in the bullpen, for somebody who might not be as familiar with that, that is not a fun task. Leanne Good flew out to right field, her first trip to the plate. Talked a lot about Kavan and Atwood and the responses they have had from the crowd here. This crowd loves Leanne Good, as they should. Two-time national champion at Texas. Had her first career home run in the last game they played.
I loved watching her win 2 national championships and be a big part of that Texas team. She was so clutch at the Women's College World Series, especially in 2025. But we have some top 10 jersey sellers, and many of the players on this list that have had fans buy their jerseys the most are in this game, including Leanne Good.
Down there, number 10, Carlin Pickens at 1, Reese Atwood, number 3. Waiting in the wings with Keilani Ricketts in the circle.
Well, and a lot of those players that were in the top 10 list are players that are either first or second year pros. And so you see how important the past couple of draft classes have been. Sis Bates was mixed in there. Montana Fouts was also mixed in there. So they're more longer time pros than the others. But the draft classes from 2025 and 2026, where every single person who was drafted, signed to come and play, have really affected this league. And the veterans leading the way have been put in the years even before the AUSL was in existence. It's a great mix.
It's just so interesting to see all these connections, different generations of stars from the same school. And is inside. Good draws a walk to turn it over to the top of the order. The 2026 AUSL season well underway. You can still get your single game and group tickets and place a deposit for 2027 season tickets for all 6 teams today by visiting the AUSL.com. AUSL, this is legendary.
Got to get those tickets to the finals as well in College Station. I heard limited tickets available there. So if you're thinking about it, you need to go online and grab your tickets before they go away.
What an unbelievable setup that we're going to have, not just in the championship, which is a 3-game series, as Gold comes charging in from third to retire Boone, and there's 2 outs. But I can't wait for the atmosphere, the intensity that I think we're going to see in the play-in game between the 2nd and 3rd seeded teams. for a chance to play #1 in a 3-game series. 1 game, season on the line. Going to be an electric night in College Station.
I think it's going to be very intense. And we've been looking forward to this end of July since we got going the first week of season. It's hard to believe that it's almost here.
Too, depending on who it is, and I'm thinking of a team like Portland. Let's say they're in that. Who do you throw? They've got a lot of options that they could put in the circle. And I think with Utah or with Chicago, the expectation would be at the moment, although it's probably a toss-up between Corrick and Fouts, but Chicago likely would go with Lexi Kilfoyle. For a team like Portland, it'd be really interesting to see who would get that nod. Carly Hoover throwing so well. The rookie Kenzie Brown has been excellent. Sam Landry. As we see Deja Mulipola pinch hitting and falls behind 0-2. Deja is a bat that Texas could desperately use to get it rolling. Just 4 hits, 1 extra base hit. Did start the season late, coming over from Japan. She will be on Team USA for the WBSC World Cup group stage in Oklahoma City in September.
The Blaze just cannot get away from these close games lately, huh? A couple of close ones with the Cascade that they came in the losing side of. So this game, so important.
Another foul ball by Mulipola. 4 straight games for Carolina decided by 1 or 2 runs. They are just 1-3 in that time. We talked about the Volts close losses over the last 2 years. Mulipola back up the middle, and Aubrey Leach goes to a knee to make the catch in center.
Still playing hard despite being out of the postseason race and not making it easy for the Blaze whatsoever with the way she's pitching.
Big inning here in the 6th as Nyjah comes back out, still scoreless in this game, and she will face Reese Atwood to lead things off. Staying inside, and it's a 2-0 count.
Well, and they're going to be careful with her. The fact that Reese Atwood has 6 home runs. She leads the team in home runs. She's more toward the top of that category in the AUSL. So get a pitch her tight, knowing that 1 pitch, 1 swing could help the Blaze win a close game.
3-0. Walked her last trip up. Dakota Kennedy on deck is 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. It actually looks like they're going to pinch hit when she does come up as Reese Atwood walks on 4 pitches.
Cattell does not wanting anything to do with Reese Atwood in this game. Good game plan based on the way that she leads the team in home runs. Nobody really has more than 2. She has 6 on the roster, so because she has that power, pitch around her and make somebody else beat you.
Well, this is somebody pinch hitting right now that we thought might be in the lineup, but it's Valerie Cagle, and this is why she's been hot lately. Rolls it into the corner and right. Atwood holds up at 3rd, and Carolina is in business here in the 6th.
They've had some moments, the Blaze have, in these close games where they've had runners thrown out at 3rd and home. So they're going to be a little bit more hesitant with this Cagle single swinging early in the count to send Reese Atwood home. This ball got into the corner. Riley Boone did a good job of tracking it down, quickly getting it in, and not bobbling it at all. 1 bobble down there in the right field corner leads to a run for this Blaze team, but knowing that they got thrown out at 3rd base earlier from Riley Boone, they're more hesitant, going to let this inning play out with the middle of the order coming up and an opportunity to score runs.
That is now a hit in 4 of the last 5 games for Cagle. She's got 2 multi-hit games in that span and has driven in 4 runs. Hitting over 370 on the year, only 9 hits. We just haven't seen her a lot in the lineup, but when we have, she's been excellent. Two on, nobody out for Bailey Klingler. pops up the first pitch. Romero tracks it down in foul territory.
That pitch coming with a little heat there. 73 up and in on the hands with the rise ball from Nyjah Kennedy. 86 pitches into this game. That's the hardest pitch that I've seen her throw in a little while.
Just seems like she wants this tonight. Again, backing up what was her best start with another good one. This is lifted to left field. It's long enough, but it's foul off the bat of Devin Netz.
You have to be so careful with her rise ball because of that. That foul ball went 216 feet. Devin Netz got a good piece of that, just barely went foul. Remember, that rise ball is the pitch that has been hit the hardest for her and has the highest slugging percentage against it.
Who's just outside for ball one. Nyjah an out away from her longest outing as a pro. What a treat that this crowd has got to witness from Nyjah Kennedy tonight. And some of the biggest stars in the college game over these past couple seasons on display. 1-2 to Netz. Back to Kennedy, just rolls out of her glove, and she spins to throw it to first with Atwood remaining at third base.
Blaze now 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position. And look at Nyjah Kennedy again with runners on base, runners in scoring position, continuing to make these pitches to get outs in soft contact.
Alyssa Brito, the last chance after the first two reached. They walked Atwood. Cagle doubled on the first pitch she saw. We saw this in the third inning too, Amanda. The first two runners reached base, and Nyjah was able to get out of that jam. Falls behind Brito 2-0. Neither team taking advantage with runners in scoring position this evening. 0 for 11 combined. Brito takes, and it is 3-0. Something's got to give. We've talked about both these teams. Close losses. Brito takes. It is a 4-pitch walk. Seems that they are okay with. It loads the bases for Jenna Laird.
Not the worst possible outcome there. First base open. Maybe wanting to throw against somebody like Jenna Laird, lefty, versus Brito being a power righty.
Jenna Laird 1 for 2 tonight. Takes first pitch strike. Laird, former SEC Freshman of the Year at Missouri in 2021, a Rollins Gold Glove winner. And goes after that inside pitch and is down 0-2.
And I love that pitch. She has been working the lefties on the outside corner all night long, but then spinning a curveball in on Laird's hands to get ahead 0-2, and trusting the fact she could spot that pitch says a lot about her.
One of the biggest pitches of the night. Just outside from Kennedy. You are going to get a major reaction from Nyjah Kennedy if she gets out of this jam. Trying to make it 6 scoreless against Carolina.
There was hesitation and sending Reese Atwood with no outs, and maybe it's going to come back to bite the Carolina Blaze in this still scoreless game.
Volts 0 for 7 with runners on base. They've had at least one base runner in all but one inning. Kaylani Ricketts went 1-2-3 in her first inning of relief back in the fourth. Alicia Ocasio started this game, gave up 2 hits, both of them singles and a pair of walks in the first 3 innings. Popped up, a lot of foul territory here in Round Rock, but that'll get into the dirt. Tiare Jennings is leading it off, so a very dangerous hitter to face Ricketts here. 2 Patty Gasso products out of Oklahoma did not cross paths. Tiare in just her 3rd season as a pro. 1-2 from Keilani. Left side, a bouncer, and a little bit of a stumble, and Jennings is going to beat that out. Brito just lost her footing for a minute. Question is, will Carolina take a look at this? They have 2 challenges. You're in the bottom of the 6th.
I would definitely look at it again. Brito is convinced that she got her at first, but it was...
Field is safe at first base. That call is being challenged by the Blaze.
It was that little bit of a stumble that even made it close, and Tiare Jennings hustling down the line, but I think she's out. Yeah, Brito had a good eye for that. She knew right away, motioned to the Blaze dugout. Let's get a challenge going.
A lot of Sooners involved in this play. Ricketts throwing it in the circle. Brito, Tiare Jennings' former teammate at Oklahoma, retiring her, it would appear, on that play. Still waiting for the official ruling.
After further review, the call in the field is changed. The runner is out. That is Carolina's first challenge. They still have 1 challenge remaining.
So now 1 out and nobody on for Danica Coffey. Amanda, one of the things we haven't mentioned, it's been a great pitching performance. Alicia Ocasio and Keilani Ricketts for Carolina. This was the worst pitching staff in the league by far last year. A 6.18 staff ERA. So Dana Sorensen, with the first overall pick in the college draft, gets Carlin Pickens. That's been a huge part of this. But Ocasio's been significantly better this year. Keilani Ricketts has been really solid. They've had some quality innings from Emma Lemley. And now it's the 2nd best ERA in the league that came into tonight at 3.36 and is certainly falling after this performance.
Well, I think they were able to get healthy too. This Blaze pitching staff went through quite a few injuries throughout the season and just could never really get on a roll and get consistency. But talked about Keilani Ricketts being that bridge pitcher, Carlin Pickens being the closer or the starter, being able to go deep into games, as well as Ocasio. It's made a big difference in their staff.
2-2 count for Keilani against Danica Coffey. They also just made an addition to this pitching staff today. The former Oklahoma State star and the rookie Ruby Malin joins the team. They released Jayla Wright. Malin comes in to take her place, and she will actually get the ball in Game 3 of this series on Monday night in what will be a massive game in the standings. Hard hit ball. Brito is there. Turns and fires, and there's 2 outs.
I think that Alyssa Brito has a great chance at being the defensive player of the year in this league. Her first year playing in the AUSL. We've seen her play at shortstop. We've seen her play at 3rd base, but she's just covered so much ground. Her arm is so strong. Love watching her play defense. We saw her do it mic'd up, having a conversation with us in Durham at the Durham Bulls Stadium, and she was still able to make great plays.
That keeps nobody on the base path, so it will be a pinch hitter. It is the 10th-year pro, Kelsey Stewart-Hunter. So a couple Kansas natives for the Volts. Nigeri Kennedy from Topeka, Kelsey Stewart-Hunter from Wichita, Kansas, was back-to-back national champion playing for Tim Walton at Florida in 2014 and 2015. Now in her 10th professional season.
Lindsay Leftwich, the 3rd base coach, threw up the stop sign to Reese Atwood, and Nigeri Kennedy struck out Laird. There was another opportunity with a ground ball off of her glove that Reese Atwood did not score on. So a few missed opportunities for the Blaze in this scoreless game that have just not gone their way, and they've not been aggressive on. I think because of that Riley Boone throw earlier in the game, as well as Reese Atwood getting thrown out in the Cascade series. I think that was at home that she got thrown out. So just a little hesitation there from past experiences.
4 straight games for Carolina decided by 1 or 2 runs. They're 1-3 in those games. They are 4 for 41 with runners in scoring position over the last 3, which is a 3-game losing streak. 4 for 41.
And somehow they still lead the league with average with runners in scoring position.
(0-2) count to Anna Gold. 1 for 1 with a single and a sacrifice bunt in this game. It'll be Gold, Ocasio, and Leach. One, two.
Deepest that Nyjah Kennedy has gone into a game in her professional career. We're witnessing it here in her home stadium in front of a great crowd here in Austin. But she's just been pitching really tight, not leaving too much over the heart of the plate at all. She has made very few mistakes, has had good command, changed her pitch calling a bit to what seems like not go to her rise ball as much, or go to her curveball and change up a little bit more frequently, especially against right-handed hitters.
Now back-to-back fantastic performances. 5 1/3 last time out, and now into her 7th inning of work. One, two, just missed. She wanted it. Swing and a miss. Starts off the 7th inning with her 5th strikeout of the game. This is your kind of game as a former pitcher.
Well, especially having called, I think, 4 run rolls in a row last week, then everything has a way of balancing itself out. Now you get yourself a pitcher's duel like I've been seeing everybody else have, and enjoying the games as a fan, but now getting a taste of it as a broadcaster. I love it.
Just a hint of bitterness in that. That misses to Ocasio, 2-0. Let's go down to Anna with more on Nyjah Kennedy.
Nyjah's been excellent today, and that didn't just start at the first pitch. She was so locked in the dugout in pregame. She had her headphones in, was just so in the zone. And then in between each inning, she's walking through her footwork in the dugout. She's barely sat still, or she's talking to Edenfield about their game plan, about what's working and what's not working. And we're seeing her more locked in than ever, possibly this season, and it's just showing in the excellence on that field tonight.
Ocasio out to left field. Goodwin is there, and there's 2 outs. That's an interesting matchup with Michaela Edenfield as Nyjah Kennedy's catcher. Michaela in just her 2nd season. Obviously, had worked under Lonnie Alameda, who is a fantastic pitching coach, as the head coach at Florida State. So that's an interesting mind that she gets to work with.
Yeah, I've been seeing them communicate a lot in their games. This is the first Volts game that I've had an opportunity to call, but been watching Nyjah Kennedy whenever she's pitching and Edenfield is catching her communicate in between every inning. And you can tell that Michaela Edenfield is somebody who pays attention to the details, giving her good feedback about pitch location, spin, I'm sure, all the things. And I think is a big part of how she's comfortable in this game.
Great location on that 1-0 pitch to Aubrey Leach. Aubrey reached to lead off this game with a walk, but was retired just moments later on a double play. 2-1.
You knew it was going to be a good outing for Nyjah Kennedy when she faced the minimum in that first inning. Even had that walk to Aubrey Leach to start the game and was able to settle in quickly after that.
Leach, did she paint the line? She did not. Very close. I think it might have went over the safety bag, not the normal bag.
It's a good piece. Just barely going foul. pretty close. Laird wiggled out of it. We still have a scoreless game. She has given up just 5 hits, has not allowed any runs, and has pitched 115 pitches deep into this game, and as you mentioned, has never looked better.
Now here is Carlin Pickens. Only one person picked ahead of Nyjah in the college draft. It was Pickens, #1 overall. Started the season 4-0 in her first 4 outings, but has hit some tough luck since. She's still thrown pretty well, but she's 0-4 and has suffered 2 walk-off losses in the last week. She faces Jaden Goodwin, Michaela Edenfield, and Sierra Romero.
One of those losses was a Bree Ellis walk-off home run in Utah, and then one was about 2 nights ago in Portland. On a Gold error.
Ground ball left side. There is on a goal. That is a low throw picked up by Nets off the grass. 1 out. This is what they've done the last 4 games. 3 straight losses, even the win at Utah, a close game. So they have been high drama over the last week or so in the league. But 2 one-run losses, a pair of walk-offs. Edenfield went around, might have been a strike anyway.
Well, and it's such a change for these hitters to go from Kaylani Ricketts down from the left-hand side, averaging 63 to 65 miles an hour, to then facing Carlin Pickens, who is the hardest thrower in her game. 74 miles an hour there. She can hit 75, 76, 77 miles an hour. And that is a tough adjustment for these hitters to go from Ocasio to Ricketts and now Pickens.
Back to Pickens, who stands up tall and makes the play. A quick 2 outs.
We've seen this a lot in the college game, too, of college teams having an opener or a starter and then a bridge pitcher who comes in, and then a closer. A lot of teams using 3 pitchers in a game, using their complete staff that all complement each other.
Ocasio and Ricketts did their job in the first 7 innings, or the first 6 innings, I should say. Now looking on as the rookie tries to take him home against the longtime vet Sierra Romero. Man, how many times has Sierra come up in a clutch moment and delivered? Announced recently she will retire at the conclusion of this season. We talked earlier this week. It's hard to remember when we didn't know about Sierra Romero. She came on the scene as a true freshman for Carol Hutchins in 2013, won not just Big Ten Freshman of the Year, but was Big Ten Player of the Year. Slow roller to the right side, picked up by Laird, and it's a 1-2-3 relief inning for Carlin Pickens. So we're going to home teams celebrate in front of them on walk-off wins, which they have seen twice in the last week.
Well, they've been a part of the league's just a lot of close games. 8 of the league's last 10 games have been decided by 2 runs or less. So a lot of close games been happening. Love to see it. Walk-off opportunity after walk-off opportunity.
It's Kennedy versus Pickens in this game now. First pitch, strike on the outside corner. Tough spot for Nyjah. Seeing Reese Atwood for the 4th time in this game. Has walked her twice and got her to line into a double play back in the first. Atwood to left field and just foul. Doesn't seem like she got a great swing off at that, but that just shows you the power she has to still get it to the fence.
It's a little bit out in front of that changeup. Remember that changeup Nyjah Kennedy has not surrendered an extra base hit with this year.
Ahead of Atwood, 1-2. Again in the air. This one is going to get into the stands. That's a good souvenir right there. A
Yeah.
Nigeri pitch and a Reese Atwood foul ball.
Oh yeah, she's happy.
One, two, that's tipped back.
And with Reese Atwood up, the best home run hitter on this team, you're not looking for her to square around in this situation. Advanced runners, you're looking for her to have the opportunity to drive one in with as many opportunities in this AB as she can have.
Inside, and that hit her. Third time Reese Atwood has reached on a free pass tonight.
Get that rise ball up and in her hands so that she can't get her hands extended, and just comes in and gets that back arm.
The only extra base hit in this game belongs to Valerie Cagle. It is two USA Softball Collegiate Player of the Year award winners going head-to-head with the game on the line. Strike two on the outside corner.
Isaac given one there, and Cagle probably frustrated with that strike call. Looked a little bit low and off the plate, putting her into a pitcher's count.
This is the third time in the game that Nigeri has had two on, nobody out in an inning. Nothing has come of the first two. Cagle swings through it. It's another strikeout, number 6 for Nigeri Kennedy.
Just being able to paint the outside corner. It's where she attacked Cagle the entire at-bat. Didn't want to come into her like in her last at-bat when she doubled down the right field line. Stuck with that low rise ball in the outer half and gets the K.
First pitch strike to Bailey Klingler. Klingler last week in Oklahoma City, in a game they trailed by 4 at the beginning of the 5th inning, hit a go-ahead grand slam that ended up being the deciding swing. This time grounds it up the middle. No chance for 2, but there are 2 away. Look at the RISP numbers. Carolina 0 for 9 tonight, and that number on this 3-game losing streak and into this 4th game continues to get worse and worse. If Nyjah can get out of this, you see a visit from Elisa Goller, who was actually the head coach of Carolina last year, now on Ricky Woodard's staff for the Texas Volts as the associate head coach. But if Nyjah can get out of this, they're going to send Leanne Good, Riley Boone, Jayla Lassiter to the plate. That's 9-1-2 coming up. Devin Netz will be the hitter. Netz hit one about a mile down the left field line, but foul in her last at bat. Fouls this pitch up into the stands.
I'd be looking for that curveball, and that's what she got that first pitch. Just not able to do much with it, and that pitch is moving a lot. Again, 8 to 10 inches of horizontal break away from these right-handed hitters, and she's consistently just painting the outside corner with it and using her rise hard in to back people off the plate. There it is again, missed a little bit low, good take by Netz, but that pitch has been so consistent for her to these right-handed hitters.
Pitch number 130 coming from Nyjah, a game that started in about the mid-90s here in Round Rock and has now dipped down to about 87 degrees. But Anna said she has not really sat down much in the dugout as well. She has been locked in since the beginning of this game. Massive crowd on hand to watch one of the sport's best players put together her best outing as a pro. One-two coming to nets. Ground ball up the middle. Jennings, what a play by T.R.A. Jennings. Freak. Still just 7 hits. I've been saying that, it seems like, for 5 innings in this game. Texas has a runner on second in the tiebreaker rule, and it's 9-1-2 coming up for him in the inning. Leanne Good, who I don't know if anyone would love more than to see her be the hero of this game, is coming to the plate. And that is actually Allie Carta, one of Texas's pitchers, who will run with Carlin Pickens in the circle.
I think this is going to be a sacrifice bunt situation here for Leanne Good. And we were talking about in between innings, do you just go with the hard gas down to try to have a hitter attempt to bunt her 75 drop ball, or do you spin it up a little bit, which when Carlin throws her rise ball, she takes a few miles an hour off that pitch and is more 71, 72 miles an hour. Oftentimes in a bunt situation, a pitcher leans on that pitch up in the zone, but not every pitcher throws 75 down in the zone like Carlin.
0-1, another bunt attempt. This is popped up into foul territory. Jenna Laird got a decent read on that, really.
How about the fact a second baseman came within range to catch a pop-up bunt foul down the first baseline?
These two teams have already played one extra inning game this year. Back in just the second series of the season, Carolina took both games they played in Durham, one by run rule, one in extras. And that game went to 9 innings. Carolina would love to repeat that history. Good to the right side, and that is job well done by Leanne Good with the winning run now 60 feet from home. Carolina, you just wonder if in the back of their mind they're not thinking, here we go again. Another one of these games.
Yeah, not expecting, I don't think, Nyjah Kennedy to throw the way that she's thrown in this game and go as deep as she's gone. Crazy stat here, because Karen Johns, our researcher and statistician, is just so awesome. But the last time that Nyjah Kennedy threw 130 or more pitches was March 29th, 2025 against Kansas. She threw 134 pitches in that game, 131 tonight. Now, on top of that, Kennedy has only thrown more than 130 pitches 5 times in her 164 pitches in her college, or 164 appearances in her college career at Stanford and Texas Tech. Stunning.
This is what everyone expects from Nyjah Kennedy, and that certainly has to be a big weight to bear. But she has showed up in the biggest way tonight in what has been a very difficult season for this Texas franchise, but you wouldn't know it the way they have competed and the way she's thrown. Riley Boone at the plate, top of the order. A chance to win it. Carlin jumps ahead 0-2, and this is a big pitch coming up.
And she is throwing a couple extra miles an hour harder in this situation, which is what she does when her back is against the wall. First pitch 76, next pitch 75 to get ahead of Riley Boone 0-2.
Where does Carlin go in the 0-2 count? What do you like here if you're attacking Boone? If you're calling pitches and you're Reese Atwood behind the plate, what do you like?
Yeah, I would try to sneak in a drop ball on the back foot of Riley Boone, 75 miles an hour inside.
Time is called.
And throwing her a lot on the outside corner, and that drop ball to left-handed hitters moves also a little bit away from them with Carlin throwing.
In the air to left field, Ocasio backs up. Carter tags. Here's the throw. Not in time. Texas walks it off against Carolina. Nigeria